Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hermitcraft. Last time we worked on a teleportation station and we lowered our prices here. And I'm actually here to see if the price lowering had any effect. We're still also gathering lava. It looks like it did. Somebody took a lava bucket here. That's awesome. So I'm guessing we got some sales. Oh yeah. The price decrease has helped, ladies and gentlemen. We sold some pointed dripstone as well. Very good. Okay. Great idea to lower the dripstone price. This is a steal now for 1 diamond for 3 stacks. That is a great, a great price. And I think it's actually the lowest on the server. I'm pretty sure. So that's great. It's driving sales of dripstone. We made 10 diamonds here. Let's see if we made any diamonds over here at the cool corner. We'll just grab this. Put this guy on. Let's see. Did we make any sales here? Looks like not since last time. I'm guessing these are, yep, all still here. Yep, as they are. So yeah, 10 diamonds here today, ladies and gentlemen. That is fantastic. And we're also continuing to gather lava buckets for the Lava River project. But today, we got to gather some pointed dripstone from our storage room. So let's head on in here. We'll put some diamonds into the diamond area right there. We'll dump off these lava buckets right in here. And we're also going to grab a couple more, just like this. Bingo. There we go. All right. Very nice. Very nice. And we can probably put them in here. This is what I've been using to gather a few of them over the course of time. Also going to get some of these out. Like that. There we go. Okay, so we'll continue to gather lava over here, but we need to gather these pointed dripstone. This is what we really need right here. So we need to gather all of these, and we need to basically put down pointed dripstone in a similar fashion to what we did here with all this pointed dripstone, but everywhere else in the canyon. So here, down this way in this big canyon, over here, and in all these little valleys and nooks and crannies throughout the rest of this canyon. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a time lapse here. Let's make this thing nice and pointy. So here we go with the pointed dripstone. Now keep in mind, this pointed dripstone, all of this, each of these pointed dripstone, like each individual block, takes about 50 minutes in real time to grow up. So you can imagine how long that this took to grow up this much pointed dripstone. And this is in addition to the dripstone blocks, which primarily came from the dripstone farm as well. So I gotta say, without the dripstone farm that we created, this canyon would probably not be possible, just because it takes so long for the dripstone to grow. That being said, the time lapse you're seeing is about 10 hours worth of footage that is condensed into about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes or so of this time lapse. And even this is not all of what I did. So this is actually just the first pass. I actually go back and do a second pass after the first pass, just to make sure there's good coverage of the pointed dripstone spires. At least the spires is what I call them. And we want to make sure there's basically no holes anywhere. I just sort of go on feel. Like I sort of imagine, like if water were flowing into the canyon, which areas would have the pointed dripstone sort of eroded a little bit, and which would sort of stick out and have a lot of spire height and a lot of density of spires. So that's how I sort of approach this whole canyon creation method. A couple more quick notes about canyon creation here. I do try to keep it somewhat realistic to how actual canyons look, but I do take some creative liberties in the canyon itself as well. So for instance, one realistic thing I try and do is I try and keep the taller spires closer to the center line of the canyon, that is, because that's how it sort of works in real life. You have the taller spires in the center that have had the rock around it eroded, and the smaller spires, the shorter spires, out toward the canyon sides. So I did try to do that, but in this instance, I also took a little bit of creative liberty, and then I put spires that are taller than the canyon rim, like right next to the canyon rim. So you're actually, even if you're standing on the rim of the canyon here, you still have spires that tower above you. And I just thought that looked better, honestly. So I just said, you know what? It's not really realistic, but it looks really cool, so I'm going to do it. So that's a little bit of insight into canyon creation, and yeah, I hope you liked it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to say that the pointed dripstone is now complete, and as you can tell, hopefully, from this panoramic shot right here, there is a lot of dripstone placed down. And when I say a lot, I mean like tens of thousands of dripstone have been placed here in the last couple of days, and yeah, it turned out fantastically well. Let me get out of this cinematic camera mode and also bring this back up. We're actually standing on one of the pointed dripstone at the moment. But yeah, let's take a walk on through at least some parts of the canyon, get the full experience of it, because yeah, this was a lot of pointed dripstone. We actually almost ran out of pointed dripstone, but not quite, not quite. We had a couple of shulker boxes left, but this is about 30,000 pointed dripstone we placed down. So feeling pretty good about it. Yeah, we have dripstone of various heights here, obviously. Some super small, some super tall. And yeah, just contributes to the canyon feeling. Yeah, you can see what it looks like down there. I tried, like, on this pathway here to, you know, put some pointed dripstone, like some, like, stragglers left over from, like, the water that's sort of eroding this area here. But I also wanted it to, you know, be able to be walked. So, yeah, it's not totally, like, covered in. You can easily make it around these pointed dripstone mounds here and stuff, but yeah, looks pretty cool now, and yeah, I think it feels very canyon-esque. And so yeah, you can just get the full experience walking through here. Feels very tight now, like it's not like as wide open as it was before, for sure. Just because we have the pointed dripstone like right up next to the path in some instances, but I think it works pretty well. There's one bigger one in the pathway, and yeah, obviously it goes down here, and it goes up here, and it sort of tapers off at the ends of these pathways here a little bit, so you can see the dripstone sort of like decreasing in height a little bit, and that is intentional, because obviously these peaks will be smaller as you go away from the canyon core, I should say. So yeah, that is a lot of pointed dripstone placed down today, and we got some really cool areas in here. Like, for instance, this lava lake, which we made on a stream a while back, is now, like, fully decorated with the dripstone, and looks pretty wild, looks pretty rad right there, if I do say so myself. And we'll just walk back to our storage area here through the canyon. And, yeah, for the most part, like I said, this pathway is pretty clear. You just have to occasionally jump over a little pointed dripstone here and there, which makes it fun, right? It's not just like a boring path. You have to actually engage with it to move faster through it, and dodge some of the bigger pillars of pointed dripstone occasionally. That's what it looks like going up to the entrance, the main entrance of the canyon. And then down here, we actually also increased the height of some of these pointed dripstone in this portion of the canyon, the older portion of the canyon. So this has changed ever so slightly as well, but for the most part, it's still the same. Anyways, let's make our way down here to the map area, and I think we need to update this map here. I think that's something we need to do. So we'll jump on over, hop, skip, and jump. There we go. All right, so here is the map currently, and you can see, just notice the texture here on this side with the existing pointed dripstone versus the bare dripstone blocks, and we're going to see how that changes right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the updated map, and you can now see that if we get really close, the texture now of the dripstone now resembles the texture of the dripstone in the original area over here. So yeah, quite varied, and that is because the way that maps work, they assign different shades of color to different heights, and because we have the dripstone at different heights in here, it looks like a big jumbled rough dripstone area. So that's why that looks like that, in case you were wondering why it like looks all jumbled up now, but that's the reason. So with that done now, I think we are set to go and do something else today. I think I want to do something outside of the canyon, because it's been a while since we've done that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make our way over to this area where Impulse and I had our duel with the giant dripstone and the target block. I want to make another new small mini game out here that should be a lot of fun to play and uses some of the new 117 mechanics. So let me explain the concept of the game we're going to be creating today. Basically, what we're making is a game that I'm calling Leaf Spleef, in that it basically uses pointed dripleafs to create a game that is sort of like the original Minecraft sport Spleef. Now, if you don't know what Spleef is, essentially it was a game with 2 or more players lined up on a big flat plane like this, and the floor was made of stuff that the player could pretty much instantly mine. And the idea is that you try to undercut your opponent so that they fall to the ground. So like we have one player over here, one player over here, and then there'd be like a countdown, 3, 2, 1, go, and then we start to spleef the other player in the hopes that they fall before us, and like in this case here, we would win when our opponent falls, but yet we remain on this surface up here. Problem with that though, especially in survival, is that you then have to reset the entire floor. Which means you have to gather the blocks and place them all down, and it takes a bunch of time, and it's not that fun. Also, in the regular Spleef game, you could like isolate yourself in a corner, right? You could like stand on a corner like this, dig out all the blocks around you, like this, then sort of retreat into the corner, dig out the remaining blocks, and then just like sort of like turtle camp it, I guess. That's how I would describe this. So that the opponent couldn't reach you, and then it was just like a stalemate, which was also not great. So, we're going to try and fix those problems and bring Spleef into 1.17 here with Dripleaf Spleef, because Dripleafs now, as you can see, they can be run across, and yeah, you can basically have them automatically reset, which gets rid of the problem of having to replace the blocks like this every single time you want to do Spleef in survival. And you can also cause your opponent to fall by using snowballs, because if you shoot a snowball at a dripleaf, so you can cause those to, drop, basically. And so that could basically drop your opponent, because if these dripleafs tilt too much, then you fall in and drop down. So that is going to be our concept here. We're going to use dripleafs as spleef blocks. Okay guys, so now a crucial test. Let's just see if we've done this right. So we should die from this height if everything is correct here. So let's just see what happens. Yes, perfect. Alright, that's exactly what we want to see. And we'll just pick all this stuff back up. Just like that. So yeah, we just make all these that high. And then that's pretty much it. Sweet. Yeah, this is going to take an insane amount of bone meal, I'm realizing now. Luckily, it's a good thing that we have a lot of people selling bone meal this season. And we also bought already a lot of bone blocks, so that's good news. The bad news is it takes an insane amount, because each one of these takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 bone meal. And if you miss by one, like if you go over by one to 24, then you have to start the whole thing over, because you can't go down. If you break any of the drip leaf, then the whole thing collapses. So yeah, gonna be a tedious process, but I think we can do it. You know, this is a much faster method right here. Just put 23 bone meal on each slot here, and then just go along and just hold down right click. That way you don't have to count 23 every single time. You just already know that it's going to be the right height. This is going to save a lot of time. This is going to save a heck of a lot of time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, although we had a lot of bone blocks, I don't believe this is going to be enough. This is actually the last of our bone meal right here. And as you can see, we're not quite done. But we have made some big progress, so let's get up there and see how it's looking. We got about, probably another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 or 9 rows. And let's fly up here. Alright, so here's what we have so far. So you can see how if we walk around here, behind us, we have an area where the drip leaves tilt, and they actually reset over time. You can see they're resetting here as I go around. So I think this should be a big enough space to where you shouldn't like accidentally spleef yourself by walking around, but you should be able to try and spleef the other person, both with your movement and with snowballs. So this should be good. Looking like it is big enough, so that's great. And of course you can like double back on yourself and, you know, jump around a little bit, and yeah, that causes some to not be tilted and things. But yeah, this is looking good so far. We do need more bone meal though. So if I come over here, yeah, we got 14 bone meal left from the multiple bone blocks we had before. This is just some terracotta I had that I put down on the floor. So we need to go buy some more bone blocks from somebody. So let's go find some. So last I checked, Green was actually selling bone blocks here at Botum. So we're going to head back over here. And it looks like there may be a second train line coming in here. What is this about? Okay, well, a second train line going in there, apparently. Let's see if bone blocks are still in stock, though. I think this is it here. This is 1 diamond per slot. Perfect. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to buy all these out again. So, 25 stacks of bone blocks acquired and 25 diamonds right there for the G-Train. All right. Thank you, Grian. Appreciate you. That is a huge bargain, in my opinion, to buy here. But there we go. We'll put these diamonds back. And we'll head on back to Leaf Spleef. Ladies and gentlemen, Leaf Spleef is coming along nicely, as you can see here. And yeah, we got a lot of the dripleaf placed down. And there's about 500 blocks, I think, in total here for the players to move around on. You can see on this side, the dripleaf faces to the left, while on this other side over here, dripleaf faces to the right. And then it sort of meets in the center with sort of like a... I guess, diagonal pattern. You can sort of see that going through the entire thing. So that's kind of cool. So I think the next steps are we need to make a sort of walkway around this, put glass on the outside here so that players can look into the arena while other players are playing. And then we'll need to put like maybe a door in the middle here somewhere that players enter through. And then we'll put doors over here where they can exit once the round is over so that the winning player doesn't also die. I think that would be a good thing to do. And yeah, other than that, we just need to, like, I guess, put in some glass down here where there's all these dripleaf. Because we don't want mobs coming in here and like a creeper exploding and it takes out like 20 dripleaf. That would not be good. Have to bone meal all those dripleaf again. That would not be pleasant. So we're going to put a glass casing in here. And probably also some way to get up, like a bubble column up would be nice, because this is kind of elevated in the sky, because we want people to perish if they fall from this dripleaf. So let's go ahead and make those changes, and I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a look. We got ourselves a Leaf Spleef arena now. So we got the glass on the outside, we got the doors all placed down, and the way it works, or is going to work, at least I imagine it working, is like this. So you start at the acacia doors here, you count yourselves down from the sides, so one person's on the other side, we're on this side. 3, 2, 1, go! You enter, the doors close behind you, and you start to move around in here, shooting snowballs at your opponent. And then once your opponent falls or you fall, whichever one comes first, then the other person can slide out these side doors here. Which if you look here, if I can see if I can get this real quick. Yeah, if you can close those like that, you'll see these actually can close so that they're basically flush with the wall. So yeah, once you're done and you're the last one standing, you can just walk out like this, pretty much. So that is that. And yeah, of course, the whole thing resets, which is the whole point of this thing. I think we'll have sort of banks of snowballs on the sides here. So like on each side, we'll have probably like a bunch of barrels of snowballs along the sides here. And then, you know, other players, if they want to watch, can watch from the side and see who wins, see if there's any good strategies for this game. We'll have in these corners here as well, we want to have water columns. So I've actually started to put down some tinted glass because I think it looks really nice with the stripped oak logs. We'll have some tinted glass here, and then we'll have like a bubble column starting here, and on each side one will go up and one will come down. So like this one will be down or up, and the other one will be the opposite, basically. If that makes any sense. So that should allow players who don't fly to be able to use this to go up and down without any problems. It might also be worthwhile to have a bed somewhere up there, so that players can set spawn if they die. That might actually be better, so that way they don't have to keep going up and down all the time. So that would also work. And then, of course, we just need the glass here to cover this all up so that nobody can come in here and accidentally punch one out. At least we hope not. And no mobs can blow up stuff. So we're making progress, but still a little ways to go. I'm happy to say that Leaf Spleef is now complete, ladies and gentlemen. Here is what it's looking like, complete with the stained glass along the outside, which is looking really cool. Plus, we got some green glass here, which prevents players from flying in or mobs from wandering into this area over the course of time, so that's great. Of course, we also have the bubble columns on the sides. These are open, so you can just walk on in. It's possible that mobs could walk in too, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. So, yeah, we got this. Let's go on up. Up here, we have a few extra things. We now have some fresh snowballs from the snow bowl. So these come fresh from our automatic snowball farm. So that's where these are all coming from. And these are what you use to spleef your opponent. We got a chest to put stuff in. We got a bed so you can set your spawn and respawn if you die in the arena. Got a crafting bench here. Of course, more bubble columns. This one goes down, actually. So you can get up and down. Then, of course, we have ender chest, because you always need an ender chest. And then we have the rules. So this is how you play. Basically, yeah, set your spawn, take some snowballs, enter the arena at the same time as your opponent. Last player standing wins. Recommended to play 3 to 5 rounds, and use the crimson doors to exit and have fun. And that's it. That's all there is to it. And this thing is now ready to play, ready to roll. So hopefully sometime in the next few days and weeks, we can have a little, little spleef tournament, a little leaf spleef action going on here. But, yeah, it should be a lot of fun. But for now, guys, I think that is going to have to be it for me today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Be sure to subscribe. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. This has been Cub. Goodbye.